Welcome to another edition of All in Sports Talk. I am your host, Mario Pagliato, and this week, let's talk about what happened in some of Europe's top leagues and the kickoff to the UEFA Champions League. First off, in Champions League, Barcelona took on former Champions League winners and Scottish giants Celtic, dismantling them 7-0 with a hat-trick by none other than Lionel Messi. However, Messi was not the only Argentine to get a hat-trick in Champions League this week. Manchester City's Sergio Aguero scored 3 out of their 4 goals to take a 4-0 victory over German side Borussia Mönchengladbach. Hope I pronounced their name right. It's a really long name. Also, Real Madrid came from behind against Portuguese side Sporting CP to win 2-1 with 2 late goals in the last 2 minutes of the game by Cristiano Ronaldo and Alvaro Morata. Also, German side Borussia Dortmund took on Legia Warsaw, destroying them 6-0 easily. How can you not when you got guys like Marco Reus and Mario Götze? Bayern Munich took on Rostov, beating them 5-0. No surprise there. Now, in Italy, Napoli took on Bologna, beating them 3-1 with a pair of goals by the Polish wonder Milik. Milik now has 4 goals in 4 Serie A games and 6 goals in 5 games in all competitions. He's probably one of the best summer signings and probably the best signing in Italy in a while. Also, Lazio took on Pescara, beating them 3-0. Milan scored a late goal against Sampdoria to take the 3 points, with the goal by none other than Carlos Bacca. Now in England, some big upsets here. First off, Watford beat Jose Mourinho's Manchester United 3-1. Man U has not been looking good as of late, especially this week. First off, losing in UEFA Europa to Dutch side Feyenoord, and now to Watford in the game everybody thought they should have won. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much money you spend in the off-season, it matters how you play together. Also, Liverpool are still on a roll this week, taking on billion-dollar franchise Antonio Conte's Chelsea, beating them 2-1. Leicester City have redeemed themselves this week with a 3-0 victory over Burnley, and Manchester City are still on a roll, taking on Bournemouth and beating them 4-0 very easily. In Spain, Barcelona took on Leganes and by beating them 5-1. Atletico de Madrid took on Sporting Gijon, beating them 5-0 with a pair of goals by the Frenchman Antoine Griezmann and also Spaniard Fernando Torres. This week in Texas, there was a UFC fight night. First off, let's start in the co-main event. Derek Brunson took on Uriah Hall in a middleweight contest. Derek Brunson won by knockout. That is his 4th straight first-round knockout. And in the main event, Michael Johnson took on Dustin Poirier. Poirier is used to fighting at 145, but now has moved up to the lightweight division at 155. Michael Johnson knocked him out in the first round very viciously.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the All in Sports Talk YouTube channel. I'm Nicole Monique, host of That's What She Said Sports, co-host of GAMS, and also co-host of The End Game. Well, we survived week 1 of the NFL, and as you can see, I'm representing with our former Super Bowl champions, the Denver Broncos, who hosted the Carolina Panthers again, and it was an interesting rematch. Let's see what happened. Denver was killing it, and Cam Newton almost got killed. Yes, Cam Newton got hit so hard, it looked like he was a piñata throughout the whole game. It basically was ridiculous. But all in all, it was a good game. I felt sorry for the Carolina Panthers because they didn't win again, but that's how it goes. Now, the interesting thing in week 1 is we had 4 teams that won by 1 point. I love seeing that. Lets you know it's going to be an exciting season. So, real quick, let's look at our Beasts and Busters, because that's what I like to do, and that's what she said sports. So our Beasts definitely had to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They showed out. Unfortunately, it was at the cost of the Atlanta Falcons. Another beast was Kansas City, who actually came from behind to beat the San Diego Chargers. That was crazy, because San Diego looked like they were going to win it all. Now let's talk about those busters, and there was quite a few. The first one, hate to do it, Dallas Cowboys. Terrence Williams, what were you thinking? Go out of bounds. Hello. Everybody knows that. But you also had the Rams. Yeah, the Rams, I think they did better in Hard Knocks. They did at that game. But again, week 1 was exciting, and then we got a preview of week 2 with the Bills and the Jets. And let's just say Revis Island looked a little bit better with the Bills because they looked awful with the Bengals. Let's just put it like this way. Revis Island looks more like Gilligan's Island. But we still have a lot of football left, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited about week 2. Now, let's look at college football because, you know, I'm a Big Ten girl, and well, I hate to brag, but Michigan represented. Granted, we were down and Colorado was doing their thing, but we came back. And what's up with all the SEC schools? Kind of stinking up the joint. I had to say that. My husband's an SEC guy. And unfortunately, Bama did beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss, I was rooting for you. And at Florida State, yeesh, now that was a brutal game. Let's just say we'll all be wearing Louisville red soon, and I'm definitely on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon. Can you say Heisman Trophy? Love me some college football. Now, I got some fan mail that I want to read to you all because, you know, I have a lot of fans in Toronto. Let's see where this one came from. Oh, it's from Norm, my #1 fan in Toronto. And Norm wants to know, yet again, is Syracuse going to have a winning season? How can I put this, Norm? No. Yet again, you're not going to have a winning season. And even though I appreciate you writing me every week to talk about Syracuse, it's just not going to happen. I know you want me to sugarcoat it, but Syracuse, I'm sorry. That's why you need to come over to the Michigan side. Come be a winner. Come join me and Joe, because we like winners, Norm. Remember, folks, you can catch the All In Sports Talk radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by just basically going to our website, allinsportstalk.com, and hit play. And remember, we have tons of sports, everything from football, basketball, hockey. I think we're introducing curling. A curling show. That would be interesting. But again, you can catch me every week, first starting out with GAMS, where me and my girl Tamerlyn will give you a leg up on what's going on in the sports world every Wednesday night. And then of course, I host That's What She Said Sports every Thursday night, right before Thursday Night Football. And then just whenever we have the end game with myself, my boy E, and also Daryl. Again, the All In Sports Talk Network. We're here and we got a lot of big things coming. But thank you for listening and watching our YouTube channel. And thank you again for listening to me on That's What She Said Sports. We'll see you next time.
Some things to look forward to next week. First off, in the NFL, the Battle of Pennsylvania between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, an NFC East showdown between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. Another great matchup here. The Denver Broncos take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Want to see how Cincinnati's offense fares with that really, really tough defense of Denver Broncos with Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware and company. Also in England, some big matchups to look forward to. Manchester United take on English champions Leicester City. Arsenal take on Chelsea. In Spain, Barcelona take on Atletico de Madrid. Real Madrid take on Villarreal. Should be a very exciting week in soccer. In Italy, some midweek games. First off, AC Milan take on Lazio on Tuesday. Then on the weekend, they have to take on Fiorentina. Two tough and great matches there. Also, Roma take on Torino. Juventus take on Sicilian side Palermo. And Empoli take on Inter Milan, who have been in a slump lately, especially with the amount of signings they made this summer. They should be doing better than they are. UFC next week. Yes, there is another UFC next week. Fight night live on Fox. Chris Cyborg takes on Landsberg. I don't understand why they keep throwing her no-name girls. She should be fighting the cream of the crop, like names like Misha Tate, Holly Holm, Shevchenko, Amanda Nunes. And whenever Ronda Rousey wants to come out of hiding, that's a super fight right there. I don't know why they keep giving her no-name girls. I gotta give those girls props though, because they're taking on a monster. Her stand-up game is like Tyson in his heyday, and her ground game is very, very lethal. Just we don't see it enough because of her. She loves to stand up and bang. She does that. A lot of that shoot the box like Pride legend Vanderlei Silva. Also some MMA news here. That's been announced. UFC 205 in Madison Square Garden. Tyron Woodley will defend his welterweight title against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, which should be a thriller. Also, there are rumors that UFC lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez might defend his title at UFC 205 against the featherweight champion, the notorious Conor McGregor. In some recent news, former UFC title contender, Chael Sonnen is up for suspension, and he has just signed a deal with Bellator, so we'll have to see him fight in that organization really soon. If you guys have any questions or what games you liked or what games you're most excited for or anything, please comment below. Thanks.